Alright, welcome to my screen. So I'm just gonna show the results and what I'm anticipating for the next swing. So first things first, let's get into the major ones. So for this pair, I was um I was bearish on it, and as you can see, we're already hitting targets very fast already. So I expect that um we'll still make it down towards this level, right? I expect we touch point eight, right? So I expect we touch there, especially in this risk off environment that we are now. So more downside to this current pair. And uh, likewise card hit target. Okay, he hit target as I expected. So nothing much on this one, right? Nothing much on this one. Just normal thing. I was still bearish on it. So I expect more downsides. Let me even plot another level. That'll be, let me put the new level I'll be looking between. So sorry, supposed to be 34. Yeah, 34. So yeah, just gonna lock that, and then I'm gonna put my second sub level, um 33 5 10 lockup. So yeah, that would be that for that. Let me confirm if this is a okay. No, it's just nothing. Okay, so yeah, that's just that for that. So more downside for these here. Um, the last one we had was probably around here. The last structure break was just the area, as you can see. So um, coming. So that was the last break of structure to the downside. So yeah, more. So probably if we see um more push to this upside, right? If we see more push to this zone, then we can look for more drop to this other zone. So if we see more touching on that zone, we look forward to even drop more. Well, yeah, we can also still um play impulsive move on this particular level to the downside. Then for JPY was quite clear. Um, JPY was very clear. Let me just keep this stuff on. Just so, yeah. So JPY was quite clear. We had a breakdown here. We had a breakdown here. So this is just a structure. So making it very clear. So we still have this liquidity down here to fulfill, right? We have to meet up at that zone. So yeah, still have that area. And I even had an entry, but I didn't take it because I was on other positions. Okay, I took other positions. So there's a maximum number of positions I take. So once I've hit that, I don't add any other pair, regardless of how the setup looks like. Okay, so um, so this is the second entry, and if this one fails, I would totally wait for market to go to another level before I can participate. That's how I do it. So just waiting for this to play out, and then we'll see how far it goes. But all still, it's still to the downside, nothing much. You understand? But in the vein of that, if we touch this particular level, okay, for me, it is going to be more of a buy than a sell. However, if we stay within this and come to this, then we know that we are still seeing more of the sellers. However, if we come to this particular zone and then we pause this high, right? So what am I trying to say? This is your valid high now. So watch out for a break, right? If market breaks, then it is dead totally. I expect that we should see more upside for that pair. Um, let's go to the other major pairs. So on EU, for EU, I had basically caught all these move to the upside. I basically caught a lot of them. However, I do it bit by bit, right? So what I mean bit by bit is I don't just enter and hold till the main high, right? I do levels to levels. Okay, I don't do high to low. I do levels to levels. So I basically did from this point to this point, and then I think I caught another one from here to here, right? So um I'm still trying to get in on another one from this particular level, right? So sorry guys for the noise in the background. Sorry for the noise. I'm still trying to get in from this particular zone next week to this other zone. So yeah. So guys, please sorry, forgive the noise in the background. I don't know. It's too noisy. On GU, GU likewise, I'm expecting an impulsive move or a correction, but I don't see any correction because now the market is so volatile due to the war that is going on. So I expect a lot of volatility. So I'm expecting from here we should push upwards, right? Should push upwards to this next zone from this particular one to the next zone. I don't see any, you know, much of the downside because why I'm saying that is because of the risk off. Okay, it's not really like it's anything related to the data or something. It's just more of the risk off. And you know that in risk off environment, things are crazy. Things are crazy. So we just escaped the tariff situation, and now we are going into another issue now, which is the war. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting on GU. On this other one, um, on AED, like I said, more to the upside. However, it's been crazy, like absolutely crazy. It's just playing around, not meeting the targets. If you if I zoom in, you see that it almost hit targets at this zone, this particular one, but it just reversed. Just a bit, think about a peep to hitting that zone and then just reversed. I mean, crazy, crazy times. I wonder why. Well, still more to the upside for this pair. Yeah, that's what I see. So as you can see, the structure more is all to the upside. If you look at the substructure, which is the inner structure, what is going on inside, you can see I clearly marked out everything. So yeah. Then for this particular one, um NZD, right? NZD, I didn't participate. I thought it was gonna come down to this particular level, right? But since it didn't come down to this particular level, what I'm expecting, okay, is that we are going to use this particular level and then visit this particular one. But now we have been ranging. I'll call this a range because it hasn't meet. It has been on this level like since since April, right? Since April, market has been on this particular level. So it's more of a range. It's not gone up, not come down, just holding on that particular level. So it's just been ranging, and I'm not interested as long as market is still on this level because I've exhausted my moves. Like there's an entry I use, and so from the entry it got eliminated, and I feel like, sorry, I don't feel, but according to logic, once that entry model is being eliminated, I do not participate again. I wait for market to get to a fresh level. So that is basically what has happened here. So it's more of logic rather than feelings. So even if it gives another entry, whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna wait till it gets to a fresh level, then I can participate. That is how I mitigate um, irresponsible losses. Then on DXY itself, DXY actually met up with the target I had set. Um, it met up with the target I set. Um, I thought it was gonna come up here as I saw this particular move. I thought it was gonna come up here, but I mean the week opened and then we saw a flush to the downside. So yeah, very nice. I already saw the entry and I just knew that once I saw that my entry model, I knew that then it was time to now shift to the next level. So um for DXY, I still expect more to the downside. Like I said, majorly because we are in a risk off environment. So um we're in a risk off environment, and yeah, so risk of normally DXY does appreciate in risk of situations like that, right? But I think there's this pattern I've noticed that the market tends to favor more of CHF and JPY in risk of environment. So the market doesn't really take DXY. I can't say there's a reason, okay, but I can say there's a pattern. So that's what I'm saying there. It's not a reason. I can't see any reason about it, but it's a pattern I've seen. So I'm just gonna stick with the pattern that okay, if the market favors more of CHF and JPY during these times, then better. But even between the CHF and JPY, it favors more of CHF than JPY. So you see, so it's just the pattern. I'm going to get more into that. So on some other positions that I'm active on, we have this particular one that I'm active. So I joined this particular move, just a quick one, came into the zone, quick entry on that one. So immediately gave me the confirmation. I joined immediately, and then so I'm holding that one, as you can see where the line is, right? So I just have my SL below this particular pullback. So I'm expecting more upside for that. Now you might be like, well, this is risk off, like I said. So the JPY should appreciate more. But yeah, it's just the pattern I'm seeing. It's only CHF that I think will appreciate more in this environment than JPY. Okay, because the technicals does not support you know the sentiment and everything. So I'm just gonna stick with my technicals because that is the most crucial thing. Okay, it's not more important than fundamentals, but then no matter how much of fundamentals you know, if your technical does not align with it, you just have to calm down. It doesn't mean your fundamental is rubbish. Okay, it doesn't mean that there's no risk of environment, but it just basically means that I cannot play that risk of environment currently now. Okay, you can't play it. You get, so you have to wait for the market to align with that environment. Then you participate. That's based off your strategy. Okay, so on my own strategy, the market hasn't aligned with the risk of. So I'm just gonna wait for it. I'm just gonna wait for it. Okay. Then we're gonna go to the next one. GJ. I'm also part of this one. Um, I took an initial loss on this one, and yeah, so I took the second entry, and yeah, let's see how this one goes for next week. As you can see, where my target is, and my SL is basically just below this pullback. So yeah, that's that on um CHF. Just expecting more to the upside, more impulsive to the upside. And I also added one to my list, which wasn't among my list. I just added because it was my second entry. Yeah, so I just took this one. Um, yeah. So this is my new one I added. I didn't have this on my list, but I saw the setup, everything aligned well, and I took the the trade. So yeah, I'm just waiting next week to see what will happen. So just having that swing to the upside, nice one from that level. So my target would be the next level, as you all know. Like I said, I move from levels to levels. So that's my target. So let's look at other ones. So for gold, yeah, gold, I basically was bullish. Why? Because I saw that this change of direction was not valid. Okay, there's a criteria I used to invalidate change of direction. So this was not valid, and I knew that this was just basically a sweep. Okay, it was a sweep to the upside. Okay, it was just inducing the sellers to take them out. So um, I basically saw it, but I don't trade gold for now due to certain things, but I would add it to my list very soon. I'm just analyzing for those that you know maybe have this on their list. So this is my outlook. So we've hit targets and I'm expecting more to the upside from this particular level. So the targets for gold would be this level. That's all. Then for oil, this was the one I wanted to trade, but I think I missed it due to using the wrong I just said due to technical reasons though. I don't want to go much into it. And I missed out on this opportunity. Very nice one. Should have participated from the very start, which was this level, right? I should have gone long all the way. Like I would have made a lot of money. So, but I didn't join because why I said I would have joined was not just the technical break to the upside, but also the fundamentals supports it. There's a war ongoing, so times like this we tend to see this kind of move on oil. So yeah. So for oil, I'm just expecting a retracement because this thing is way overboard. Okay, I'm not saying it will fall. No, I'm only saying a retracement. So just to calm the tensions and then we follow up. So but for now I'm just gonna wait. Probably if it touches this level, either it touches this level, right, or it creates a structure around this level, right? But I prefer this level, okay, to long. However, if the market does not go down here and then create a structure around here and gives me my entry, then I'm gonna take it all the way to this particular level, right? Very, very nice and very clear. So sorry, let me correct it. So I'll be taking it to 79. Yeah. And then on US 30, basically, it was more bullish, but due, like I said, the environment now has changed. So I am less confident on this particular trade going to the upside. Um, but yeah, let's just see what happens. So we might maybe touch this area due to the current risk off environment that we are in. So we might touch down this area and also the US data. Okay, it's not as solid as it is, but it's okay. So we might see a touchdown of this area or maybe just a retest of this area to the upside, or then it melts down. So it's either a retest or we melt down to this zone. So yeah. So that's all for that, and see you next week. Thank you.